Welcome to Live with Aaron and Kelly. It's that time I've been waiting for. Bitsie Tulloch is on the phone with us. That's right, from Grimm, from the artist, and from her new movie. Bitsie, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
First of all, I got to say, we got a lot of stuff in common, and we got to talk about this. Number one, you're half Spanish, right?
Well, my mom's family is basically Spanish, and then I think my great-grandmother was Mexican.
Okay. Oh.
But yeah, I mean...
Our cameraman's rooting for you right there. And then you went to Harvard. We have Harvard family. My uncle, which is behind the camera, he went to Harvard, and so did my brother. So tell us about Harvard.
Go Crimson. Harvard was great. I had a wonderful 4 years there. The campus was amazing, and the resources that were available to the students were amazing. But I definitely will always say that the best thing about going to Harvard were the other students. It was very inspiring and sometimes intimidating. And
right.
I feel like a lot of us were used to being sort of big fish in a little pond, and then you get to a school like that, and all of a sudden you're like, do I deserve to be here? But it was great.
Hi, Bitsie. It's Kelly here with Live with Aaron and Kelly. You know, we tweeted and Facebooked that we were going to be interviewing you, and I cannot tell you how many people reached out to us. They had so many questions for you, so I want to go to a couple questions that we had on Twitter. We had AJ Arthur said that Bitsie has a degree in literature. What genre does she enjoy reading the most?
Of just any literature?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've sort of been lately on a nonfiction phase.
Okay.
The book that I have that I'm staring at right now on my bedside table is called Natasha's Dance, which is a cultural history of Russia. And then the one I was reading before that was called The Emperor of All Maladies, which is considered a sort of biography of cancer. And then before that, I was reading this really trippy novel by Thomas Pynchon called Inherent Vice. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I'm sort of all over the map. I just love reading.
Wow. So I mean, that's pretty. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to admit it. A smart girl, a beautiful woman.
Because Aaron was so excited about this interview because he's like, she's smart and she's pretty.
That's a deadly combo.
Do you find that a lot of people are surprised that you're actually intelligent because you are a very attractive girl? Do you get mixed reactions from that? Because I've seen some interviews and you're a very intelligent girl.
Thank you. Well, listen, I will say this. I am probably the dumbest smart person ever. I have very little common sense, and I tend to get in my head a lot. So I don't know if I necessarily am reading immediately like somebody hyper intelligent, because I could be a little goofy.
That's even more adorable.
You know what, though, Bitsie? I actually know that you can be a bit goofy because I did a little research on you, and I saw in an interview you enjoy fart and poop jokes. Is this true?
Oh, that is so true. They're my favorite. I mean, it's probably because I have a dog now, and he's always farting in my face.
Tell us about your dog. I just saw pictures of your dog. You have two. Do you have two dogs?
No, I have one.
Okay.
Just one. His name is Henry, and he's a 3-year-old brindle French bulldog, and he's so much fun.
So adorable. You majored in literature, you majored in the arts, and then you came out here, from what I understand, just to get away from the academic world, to kind of relax. And then what happened with acting?
I sort of fell into it, and I was going to a theater class with a friend. I was dating a musician in LA, and I kind of just fell into it. I'd never really done anything before. I did one little thing in college, but it was never something I intended to do. So I actually started sort of late in the grand scheme of things, and I totally fell in love. And it was just one of those weird serendipitous things where, I fell into the hands of the right teacher, and if it had been anybody else, I would never have considered doing this. But she made me fall in love with acting, and I studied for a couple of years, and then I started auditioning and working.
Wow.
And I literally, now that I'm doing it, I can't imagine doing anything more fun.
Neither can we, because, I mean, the love for you is just phenomenal. Grimm fans are tweeting us left and right, asking questions. This is from Amanda Frazier. Are you going to have it in for Adeline?
I would be shocked if I don't, because obviously Juliet is still in the middle of getting all of her memories back, and it's not coming together easily, and it's like basically a million-piece puzzle, but it's starting to come back together, and I am sure that Juliet is going to end up remembering or piecing together the fact that Adeline had something to do with this.
Now, you've been kind of strung along left and right. You're like the Lois Lane to Clark Kent. You know, you can't find out his identity practically. I mean, otherwise you end up in trouble. So, I mean, you're getting sent left, you're getting sent right. What's that journey been like for your acting? You know, you don't know what you're going to be or doing next.
It's been really fun. You know, this season has been a wild ride for me, and it's been challenging, and it's been really fun. It was the first time I really had to use a lot of green screen, and when you're working with green screen, you're literally you only have your imagination, so it's a different kind of prep work than going into a scene with another actor where you can sort of react and just listen to somebody and be present. And when, you know, all of the stuff with Juliet, once Rosalie gave her the spell and her memory was coming back,
right?
All the stuff with the abyss and whatnot, that wasn't even a green screen. That was just walking into the set for Nick and Juliet's house and basically falling into the floor, but I could see the floor. So it's that kind of thing where really, you know, you have to make it as truthful as possible in a scenario which is just not truthful at all. But it's been really fun, and you know, this business with the amnesia was really fun to play with. But it's funny, like the two of them, Nick and Juliet, they're just like total star-crossed lovers. And in the episode that airs tonight, The Kiss of the Muse, has a great guest star, Nora Zehetner from Heroes, and she's a sort of muse-like Besson.
I can't wait.
Nick comes under her spell.
I'm huge on,
yeah, just when Juliet is finally starting to have positive memories.
Okay.
And now,
well, hey, first of all, congratulations on season 3 being picked up. That must be exciting for you guys.
Thank you.
And so the season finale, can you give us any little teasers?
Well, obviously there will be a cliffhanger as usual. It is a season finale, and I, by the way, as also a fan of Grimm, I'm always like, no, what happens next? But it's a big one. It's a little bit of a doozy. Like one of the main characters, it is questionable how alive he is at the end of this one.
We have one more question we want to go to on Twitter. Gary Morano at Super PR Guy asked, Bitsie, how do you think or hope Juliet will kill her first evil Vesson? And will it happen soon?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. I can't say what kind of Vesson, but we were filming one of the in the season finale. Actually, the last 2 episodes are going to be like a 2-parter, and there was a Vesson, and I was desperately trying to convince the director that I should just totally kick him in the nuts really, really hard and kick him out. And like literally, I couldn't let it go. And I think it was because in a very early draft, I did that, and then it was removed because, you know, the stuff ends up getting cut down, especially these last few episodes are just epic.
Right.
And I was like, well, wait, where do I kick him in the balls? Like, when does that happen, guys? And they're like, well, you're not doing that anymore. And I was like, no, I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
So hopefully at some point in season 3, they will let me do that now just because it's created a fixation.
I love it. So you're looking forward to that moment. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, again, you have so many fans out there. What's something that you want to tell them? Because I know we can't get to all the questions that are on Twitter and Facebook. What's a few words that you'd like to say to them for those who are watching and listening?
I would just say that I love you guys, and I really appreciate the dedication and the loyalty. And, you know, as I've said in numerous interviews, I feel like fans of this sort of genre are super, super smart. They're super loyal. They're amazing. They really watch the show with an eye for detail and an eye for story. And I like that. It keeps you on your toes. And one of the reasons I try to be so active on Twitter is sort of a way that I can interact with them and also just say thanks and, hear pictures from set or, make sure you're watching tonight. And sometimes I live tweet episodes with them. And it's really just because we wouldn't be here without the fans, and I'm hyper aware of that.
I so appreciate that. I think she was only talking to me, fans. I'm not sure she was talking to all of you, but
Aaron's like, oh, she's talking directly to me right now.
No, but that's great. And your fans love you and adore you. We could tell.
Yeah, and I have one more question for you. What are you watching besides Grimm? What's your favorite show right now?
Well, I've really gotten into Hannibal on NBC. Brian Fuller's new show with Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy. I think it's really scary. It's beautifully lit. The performances are awesome. So
yeah,
I would recommend that everybody watches Hannibal.
That's so funny because I saw that on Twitter and I was like, oh, I completely agree. And the coloring, the cinematography on that thing is beautiful. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
It is. It's one of like the prettiest and most visually interesting shows I've seen in a while.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much.
And then, of course, I watch like Game of Thrones and everything. Like everybody else, I'm obsessed with Game of Thrones. But of the new ones, I'm really into Hannibal.
Very
okay,
cool.
You know what? Now I'm going to get HBO and watch Game of Thrones, and we're going to tweet live during that.
There we go.
Okay,
we'll have a party
I'm just
for
saying.
it.
All right. Thank you so very much for taking a moment with us. We're sorry we only get our 10 minutes with you, but thank you, Bitsie, and congratulations on all you're doing.
Absolutely, and thank you for having me.